All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, listeners. This is Leo with Living Positive San Antonio. Today is June 5th. We are joined today by Jace, Sylvia, Mark, Santiago, and our very own Sugar. She hasn't been on this podcast before at all, and so we're extremely glad to have her here. Sugar, do you want to kind of introduce yourself so that way that people listening can hear who you are?
Hi, my name is Sugar Portillo. I'm on Facebook. You can find me under Sugar Portillo. I'm also part of the LPSA board, and as an HIV ally, I am a licensed chemical dependency counselor. Still an intern, technically, I have to say that on TV. But anyway, I work with the drugs and alcohol portion of the population that wants help. So I just kind of come and, bust everybody's chops here and throw in my 2 cents and get, and just help from a female perspective, because there's only 2 of us, me and Sylvia, on the board. So that's about it. Oh, well, I was talking about bio. What is this?
We need a substance abuse counselor.
Oh, okay.
She's also a fellow Valley girl. So
I am. I'm representing the 956 today with my Mexican dress with the sunflowers and my... Oh, I don't have my Frida mask on today, but it's in my purse.
What's your OnlyFans page?
Huh?
Your OnlyFans page?
My OnlyFans page is Sugar Portillo at Facebook.com. I don't know what that is. I don't know what the OnlyFans page is.
Oh, you don't know what it is? Girl, look it up.
Oh, wait after that. I know.
Yeah, you got me like a babe in the woods here,
it's a website people go to do
sexual things.
It doesn't have to be sexual.
Is it a fetish?
No,
site?
no.
Oh, okay.
You go in there and masturbate, and people will pay for them to watch you masturbate.
Up. Are you serious? Who wants to pay me?
Or pictures of you naked, but it doesn't have to be just
pictures?
that.
I don't like to put naked pictures.
It could be sexy pictures. It can be just.
I can take a picture of my cleavage and that, my
It could
feet, my fat feet.
And somebody will masturbate to the fat feet, probably.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Really? For how much? Oh my gosh!
Matter of fact, there's a guy on TikTok that has an OnlyFans page, but he doesn't do sexual things. It's just like maybe a shirtless picture or something like that. But he's not.
He's a fine ass man on TikTok. I'm gonna say that.
Ass, okay?
So today's topic looks like it got changed to OnlyFans.
Okay, what is today's topic, Leo?
So today we're going to be talking about HIV and aging, which I know nothing about because I'm barely 30, with a group full of 50-year-olds.
Oh, look at that one dying over there.
Yeah, he's already dying.
From allergies.
The allergies are kicking his ass.
Okay, so we'll start off with the person who's most experienced, Jace.
Not in sex, but go on.
Oh,
I am the oldest one here.
Yes.
You're 72. 72, right?
Stop.
God, who's got more gray hair? And I don't color mine, so don't even go there.
Yeah, you don't color yours.
I don't.
I'm 57.
Oh, you're
I'm 59.
Okay, then you are older.
Are you really 57?
Mm-hmm.
How old is
Wow.
Wayne?
Yeah,
You'll be 50.
I'll be 58 in
I
September.
did
July
not think
14th.
Wayne
Wow.
was 51.
I just turned
Is that
59.
Yeah.
So,
we're talking about
Because he
yesterday.
dies.
I will.
So then I
say
defer to you, sir.
All right.
Going back to the topic.
I will say that the older I get with HIV, the more
Older you get.
confident. The older I get, but the more confident that I'm going to live a long, quote, healthy life. I mean, as healthy as somebody with HIV can be. I know that HIV has been. Shut up. That smirk on your face says you're thinking something.
Oh, because he thought you said lonely life.
Well, that too.
No, I was just thinking, why did you have to put the quotes on healthy? Because you are healthy.
Really?
Yeah, well, no, I did do the quotes in case, because we don't have, obviously nobody saw me do that.
So
Except for Leo.
No, but nobody listening to the podcast knew that
because
you
I mean, the issues I have with my health have nothing to do with friggin' HIV. They all have to do with my diabetes.
And dementia.
And what?
We're going to talk about dementia, Santiago, in a little bit.
Yeah.
Just for you.
Yeah, just for you.
Hold on.
And you talk about the dementia because actually I do have those issues, and part of it is HIV, but also part of it is
COVID?
COVID because I had the COVID. I really think it's been accelerated between the two. Because I'll be talking sometimes and I'll literally forget what the hell I'm talking about right in the middle of a sentence.
Yep.
What about you, Sylvia?
What about me?
About your dementia?
I don't have any dementia.
But you're old too.
I know, but I don't forget. I'm like an elephant. I don't forget.
She's actually younger than me too
How old are you, Sylvia?
by 3 days.
By 3 days, I'm younger than Dave.
Wow. That's so
Both old as fuck.
So you're 58?
59.
59.
Were you not listening earlier when I said my age?
I was thinking 59, but
But I feel
58.
39.
Good
Yep.
for you.
I always say that my body betrays me because
Yeah.
I don't feel my age. I feel
Yeah.
very young, but the outside, is not
That doesn't-
reflective of my spirit.
Right. That doesn't mean my back doesn't hurt or I have
Okay.
back issues.
Right.
But those are legitimate back issues. That has nothing to do with age because this would have started when I was young.
Okay,
it
so
Yeah.
Sylvia, you are 59. Mark?
51, 2.
You'll be 52 this
I
year.
don't know.
You will
After
be
15, I
52, I'll
can't
be
track.
52.
You will be 52. Wait, right now you're 51.
Yeah, 51.
I am 50, going on 51 in 3 weeks.
Oh,
Oh,
yes,
you're not
girl.
that young.
No, how old are you?
You are not that young.
Whatever. How old are
Trying to
you?
act like you all
How old
a
are you?
baby and shit. 59. No. Wait, not gonna add to it, okay? No, I'm 57. I'll be 58 in a couple of
You
months.
said 59. Leo?
I just turned 30 on the 21st of May.
So Leo's the little brother.
Right.
Leo's a baby.
So we
That acts
are
like a
all
grandpa.
up
We're
in age.
50 and 50 plus. Yeah.
But some of us feel older than we are.
There's
Me,
some days.
I mean, I could tell you if it's going to rain because my knees hurt now. I mean, that's how old I am, I feel.
I can tell
And
you
it
by looking at that.
sucks.
I can tell by how it smells outside.
Really?
Yeah.
No. It's been hurting a lot.
Or for me, and this may be, you may have this issue too, talking about knowing when it's going to rain. My shoulders start to hurt because of the surgery I've had. Don't you have that issue, or do you?
I do have problems with my shoulders. I tore both of my rotator cuffs. But I can feel that the weather's going to get bad because my allergies are.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Like the past 3-4 days because of all the rain. So the pollen and everything else has just been blowing in. So I feel like I'm sick.
Yeah.
I almost feel like when I had COVID. But I'm still eating like crazy.
Okay, as getting older, you talked about your rotator cuffs.
Right.
Do you feel that it's taking longer for them to heal because of your
Oh, most
age
definitely, 'cause-
and because of the HIV, or
I think is one because like me and you were both military, so we did a lot of stuff
Yeah.
that we had to use our arms, our back,
yeah.
our feet, and all that shit.
and that's probably where, yeah,
Right. So
That's probably my
mine,
theory.
and also because I do or did a lot of weightlifting, and I wasn't doing it correctly, so doing that kind of messed up my.
But were you not doing it correctly all this time? Or at the end you were doing it right, but it was too late?
Not that I was doing it wrong, but I was.
There was no
When
proper
you-
training.
Well, not that there's no proper training. When you're among a whole bunch of people that are younger, and you're trying to keep up with them, so you're trying to lift more than they are because your friends are in the 30s. And again, I'm 50, so you want to be at the same level with them,
They're lifting like
like
300.
nothing. And I'm trying to lift with them at the same level. So I mean that has it.
Why would
again,
you want to be at their level? Why can't you not just be at your level?
It's about being machismo.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's
Well,
also
okay,
that's
is it
also
about
a
being
gym
machismo
thing. It's
or
a
is it-
gym thing because you always when you're at the gym, whoever decides to go to the gym, you're with friends or somebody's that is like, oh man, I want to be his size, so I'm gonna do his exercise. Like I'm looking at him, I'm like, oh shit. Not that I'm checking him out, I may be, but
We know you are.
okay. But I'm like, okay, this is a good exercise I've never done before. So I tried doing it. I was like, okay, I like it. But I never really looked at it or studied how it actually works. So it goes like that. But again, I mean, it's our age. You know, my back is fucked up from the military as well. So I got to be careful. Sometimes I'll be bedridden for like 6 weeks or longer because my back is so fucked up. And, you know, some of y'all have the same problems. And it just, once we get older, it just
I have a lot of health issues, but nothing of course like military or picking up weights. My body's just old. I just feel old.
Well, okay, and do you believe that's because you are aging, or do you believe it's because HIV is making you feel that
No,
way?
I don't think it's HIV. I just think I'm just getting old. I don't exercise like I should. I don't eat right. I just ate a Twinkie. I just swallowed a fucking Twinkie. Drinking a soda. And
Yeah.
we just had breakfast. Hello.
He just shoved it down his mouth without even biting it.
I'm telling you, I love Twinkies.
And it was a big yellow Twinkie too.
Shut up in the house. So I don't eat healthy. Like last night, I showed you what I ate.
Yeah,
I mean,
that actually looks very good, and truthfully, like that could be considered healthy. I mean, was it turkey? No, the turkey's healthy.
The turkey is, but the green bean casserole.
and
I'm sorry, the green beans are a healthy item.
not the cream
Wait,
of mushroom.
what was
that
this
goes
at?
in my
That-
house.
that-
I love what I showed.
That adds fat, but not
We
really
weren't there.
anything
Oh
else.
no, it was just me and Adam.
Because the mushrooms are good as well for your health.
Yeah, but the cream
Yeah,
is
the
a
cream
cream of
is not-
mushrooms.
And the
Again,
It's carbs.
the cream is fat.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And I'm sorry,
But it's got
well,
carbs in it, right?
none of us are really skinny here, so
Oh my gosh, that's
I guess we don't need the fat.
okay. I will say though
and
that
this
also
is at midnight.
it's
Oh,
not
no, okay, now it's bad.
okay,
Yeah.
it's not just about the HIV and the aging and all that. It's about, I can say too, like for me, I do have issues, but it's also, I attribute that to my long-term drug use, and how it affected me because I did a lot of damage to my body back in the day. And then when I finally got sober almost 14 years ago,
What?
it's kind of come back to bite me, in some ways. Like I have short-term and long-term memory loss from that.
Actually, since you said, I wish Wayne was here because he's HIV positive. He has that drug use, and he has health issues. How are those intertwined?
Right. Well, I mean, anything is going to, as we age, some of the things that we go through, they're just a part of the natural aging process, and then add to that, the drugs and alcohol abuse, or even if it's from a long time ago, or the HIV, or the diabetes, or all these things. And if you have all of these, you really need to start looking at, eating healthier, working out and stuff. Don't look at my waistline, but I'm just saying, because because this is
I did not.
because it's really important, if you want the longevity and you want the comfortable, happy life, that you are entitled to, okay, as a human being here on earth, as you live and breathe, then you have to do something about it. You can't just be, complacent and say, well, because I have this or because I did that or because now I'm just going to live like this. You can do something.
Yeah, you got to
And-
stop smoking.
And I'm going to say that
You
kind of
mentioned the drug use,
Yes.
how that's affected
Yes.
your overall health.
Oh, yeah.
With HIV patients, we have to realize that our medications have,
Yes.
because it affects
Yes.
our livers, it affects our kidneys, it affects this or affects that, affects our pancreas.
It makes us fat.
Yes, matter of fact, it redistributes your fat sometimes
Yeah. Wow.
from your thighs to your middle. I mean,
Yep.
so I'm sorry, sativa does that. If you've ever taken sativa, that is one of the main side effects of sativa.
Never taken
It literally redistributes your fat from like maybe your legs to your middle.
Wow.
Is that our excuse?
I guess.
So real quick, I just want to make a real quick plug here for Mondays when you guys go walking. I know that the LPSA is going to start walking, right, at Woodlawn Lake. And so we want to invite everybody that's listening, if you're in the vicinity, to come out and join us on Monday evenings at what time?
At 7:00.
7 o'clock.
Mondays and Thursdays.
Mondays and Thursdays at
At
Woodlawn.
Woodlawn Lake.
Lake, yeah.
Okay.
And you can bring your pets.
Yes.
Yes.
But
bring your
most
babies.
of our listeners are from Saudi Arabia. We found out.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's okay. If
Go
you're
on
ever in the San
virtually.
Antonio
Yes.
area, you can we invite you. And yeah, you can join us, out there. You do your thing over there while we're doing ours over here.
Yeah, we'll have
Do like a
healthy snacks for you guys, water, and then
Gatorade.
Gatorades. Yeah.
Granola bars.
Yes.
so,
Well,
yeah.
and we can't attribute HIV to everything,
Correct.
Well, I'm aging with HIV, and, because I have HIV, we have a tendency to do that already, with other things. Well, I have diabetes. Well, I have such and such a thing.
No, I have a question.
Everything turns into, well, because of this or because of that. But I think that you determine a lot of what happens to you, even physically. I think there's a way to control that. I have a friend who has been living with HIV since, I don't know, it's over 30 plus years. But he decided many years ago not to take the AZT. And he is just aging like fine wine, honey. Let me tell you. Oh, my God. But he decided to go another route when he found out that he had HIV. Instead of embracing the medication and all that, he just embraced another way to live. And that was drug-free, not alcohol-free, because we went out quite a few times and tore it up. But he, drug-free, mostly alcohol-free. He embraced... And this is another side to embracing aging and HIV, embracing spirituality, which he did, and then just having finding a hobby or something that he liked, and gardening, planting, all that takes him outside into nature where he can kind of commune, has made a big difference. Somebody like him should be dead by now, for real, because of the amount of time he's been living with HIV. He should be dead. He's healthy as a horse, and he's probably 61 right now. He looks great.
So is he on medication currently?
Now he's on medication, but he said that if he was gonna die anyway, he was just gonna forget the AZT. He says, I'd rather die my way than die miserable, like all my friends. So he didn't go with the AZT. So healthy and HIV is a lot more than just your medication. Although that's a very important component of it, it's finding something you like to do and not going, well, I'm bored. There's nothing to do. Good grief, there's a million things to do. Color.
Yourself?
Yeah, do yourself. Yeah, that keeps you happy.
I have a quick question. What did you say?
AZT?
Yes, for
That
people
was the
that
initial HIV.
yeah, for people that don't know, like me
Okay.
and listeners.
AZT was the first line of defense, the first medication against HIV. It was developed in the early stages, and most of the time...
Wasn't it initially
a cancer drug?
Cancer drug, yeah.
Yes,
For
initially it was a cancer drug, and it killed a lot of... It actually brought more harm to people than good at the very beginning. I don't know what the AZT stands for in technical terms, but it was the first line of defense against HIV, and it really was not the best thing, but it was the only thing. Once you started your HIV AZT regimen, you had a good, probably I'm going to say 6 to 9 months of living to do after that.
What does the acronym stand for?
That's what Jace is looking
I'm
at.
looking that up right now.
6 to 9 months.
I do have a question. Now, when you guys were younger, could you picture yourself getting older? Like for me, I can't picture myself as an old man.
So I personally always have. I always wanted to get old. I always wanted to be older. I'm 50s, 60s. I don't know why, but I thought an older guy. When I was younger, I always thought the old guy was really handsome, and I couldn't wait to be there. And I am, and handsome. Fuck you. Stop looking at me that way. I have a quick question for you.
Wow!
Let everybody answer first,
Then
and then you
I'll
can
go
answer
for
your
your
question.
Real quick, I'm going to tell you what AZT is. It's actually, I hope I say this right, zidovudine. How would you say that? First word.
Zidovudine.
Okay, that sounds good. Zidovudine, also known as azithromycin. Say that. Thymidine, which is AZT. It's an antiretroviral medication used to prevent and treat HIV/AIDS. It is generally recommended for the use with other antiretrovirals.
Never could.
As a matter of fact, and Dr. Bullock said this the other day, it is actually used today to prevent mother-to-child spread during birth. So it is still used today, but it's generally used when a woman is giving birth to a child, and it's actually given to the child.
We thought they just stopped the
Yeah,
cold turkey.
Yeah.
I thought so too.
So I'm actually the only person in here who was on AZT.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. So do you want to step up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have a latecomer that took the long route from Starbucks to get coffee.
Oh my goodness.
He went to New Jersey and came back. Okay, do you want to introduce yourself, sir?
My name is John, and I've been positive for 21 years.
And you took AZT.
I took AZT, and it was a very nasty drug. I don't remember how long it was. Well, actually, let's see. The end of July is when I'm retired Navy. I was in the Pentagon when it was hit, and I was in the Pentagon when I found out I was positive. So this was in late July, early August of 2000. And they immediately put me on AZT and D4T and a few others. And I don't remember how long it was before I started getting sick. And I thought I had the flu. I thought I had the flu really bad. And
You're talking about the medication?
the AZT, yeah, all the medication. It was delayed reaction. And it just felt like I had the flu. It was like a really bad flu. And being so new with being positive, I'm like, oh my God, can I take any over-the-counter drugs? Medication? I mean, I was just like freaking out until finally it went on for over a week. And I finally went to see my doctor, which is what I should have done in the beginning. And they immediately stopped everything and put me on other medication. And I honestly can't remember. I've taken so many. I can only remember a few.
So when you started out, you were taking, 20, 30 pills a day?
Not really, no. I was taking AZT, I was taking Sestiva, I was taking D4T, which is Zerit. And I know there were Viride, I think. There were a few.
Okay. So you caught it pretty much at the end of that era.
Yeah.
Because in the 80s and 90s, that's when they were taking 30 pills or more just to stay alive.
Yeah.
So you were more at the end because you said you didn't find out you were positive
in
until 2000.
2000.
And truthfully, people were still taking 20, 30 pills, but they were reduced down to a couple of pills, then to one pill.
Right. Like us. I mean, I take one pill a day, and I'm taking Biktarvy.
Yeah, I'd take the same thing.
So, I mean, again, going back to those people that were taking 30 pills, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be taking that one pill.
Right. And I will tell you, those of us who were on a lot of medication
But go on.
Are dealing with the side effects of those earlier medications.
What are some of the side effects?
D4T, Zerit, neuropathy. I have neuropathy, really bad. I had friends who the medication caused diabetes. Never happened to me, thank God.
And so, and what is neuropathy for those that may not know?
Neuropathy is people who have diabetes can have neuropathy. What it does is it kills the nerves.
So what is it doing to you?
It's killing the nerves.
What does that feel
To
like?
the point
Well, with
where
diabetes, you generally feel it in your hands and your feet first,
And in your legs.
and then it actually will spread to the rest of your
No,
body. And it's like pin needles.
yes. So I have it in my hands, my arms, my legs, my feet. So the constant tingling, this leg, it's different.
Yeah.
I can scratch really hard and it doesn't hurt because the feeling is very
Limited.
Thank you, Sophia. Limited.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have noticed how I walk. I guess if you look very carefully at how I walk, it's not normal because my ankles don't really move anymore.
And that's the neuropathy caused by the pills?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
But also if you're diabetic.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's not.
I'm not that
And,
bad.
diabetes is
But
not the only issue you can have to get neuropathy. There are other issues besides diabetes.
Right.
Some of it is medication related. Some of it's maybe damage that you suffered from an injury, even. So,
the earlier ones more so than the newer ones.
been like that for the past couple of
liver and
days.
kidney.
Shootings
That's why
everywhere.
that's why your doctors are constantly looking at your organs,
Right.
and how, if they're functioning correctly.
Now, John, I asked everybody in the group, when you were younger, could you ever picture yourself as an older man? Like me, I can't picture myself getting older. I don't know how I'm going to look like. I don't even want to know. I feel like once I already start getting older, I just want to freeze myself so I can live forever or something.
I honestly never thought of myself as a younger person. Now, when I was, I think back in the 70s, or
60s.
I can only remember as far back as 69.
Okay.
Oh, it's more than.
But I did, okay, the year 2000 popped up when I was a kid. And it's like, oh, I'm going to be 36 in the year 2000. But no, I never pictured myself as being old.
How old are you right now?
I'll be 57 on the 8th.
Okay.
Of June?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Happy birthday.
Thank you. So
Oh, that's
I
right.
met my husband, Ivan, in October, the end of October of 2000. I had been positive for a few months, and we've been together 21 years. He's negative. Thank God, we've managed to keep him negative all these years.
But that's because you made sure you took
yeah,
your medication.
we're very
You
safe.
protected yourself, but you also protected Ivan too.
Exactly.
Which is great. I mean, does anybody else feel that they would have given it to somebody else if they did not take their medication, or just, especially when you found out you were positive? Did you feel some sort of way?
I actually stopped having sex for like about a year and a half. Seriously. Because I was too scared I was going to pass it on to somebody.
The guy that I was with at the time that I found my diagnosis, we weren't really having penetrative sex, but I still had fear that I would give it to him.
Was that because you didn't know?
Yes.
We always been uncertain about the modes of transmission. Well, we were, and some people, it still creeps into their head. You know, well, how do we know for sure that you can't give it to somebody that way?
Back then, I was very naive. I didn't know anything about HIV, anything about STDs, nothing. When I was in high school, we had like a 1-day class on STDs, and so I didn't learn shit. And so, when I found out that I was positive, I immediately just started going through some different scenarios, and making sure that I didn't pass it on to him was one of the biggest concerns that I had. Thankfully, that never happened, and being educated now, I know that no matter what we had done together, he would have not gotten it.
Okay.
You've been positive how long?
For 5 years, I believe.
Almost six.
Almost 6 years. It'll be 6 years in December.
Okay. And you said you've been positive 21 years. Mark?
13.
Jace?
16 years this past February.
Okay, mine is going actually on 4.5. I found out in the beginning of 2017. So we've all gone through different stages of taking our meds again. Again, back in the 80s, 90s, they were taking 30 pills, maybe more. You end up taking
the tail end of it.
You got the tail end, maybe 7 or 8 pills. And we're lucky enough that we are only taking 1 pill right now.
I take 3. I will not change it.
Right, because you've decided not to change
yes.
it to Bactarby.
Yes.
If it isn't
Broke, don't
yeah,
fix
if
it.
it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I'm
that's
a big
fine.
believer of that
Yeah,
too.
Dr. Martinez asked me quite a few times if I wanted to go to 1 pill, and I said no. I'm happy taking my 3 pills. It doesn't bother me. I do it every single morning. And like you guys said, why am I going to change it where it's working?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, the only reason I have changed my medication was I was taking a triple before. And because I already am in stage 3 kidney disease, my doctor took me off of a tripla because Truvada, which is part of a tripla, affects your kidneys
Drastically.
and drastically. And because otherwise, I didn't want to change either. If it hadn't been for that simple fact, I wouldn't have changed to Bacardi.
And I'm okay with taking Bactarby because it's only 1 pill versus I was taking Descovy and
Perscovics.
Truvada. I was taking 2 pills.
Okay.
So but also have my diabetes shit. Plus my keep me insane Propion and Flexitine. plus
Viagra.
I'm sorry.
Viagra.
Viagra. Because sometimes you have to have it for people that are ugly as fuck, but you just want to fuck. So yeah, I take Viagra since you want to be a fucking dick.
Did you really?
No,
I thought you were
we're making a joke out of it. But I take all these pills in the morning, and then I also have to take them again at night. And then since I have problems sleeping, I'm taking trazodone. So but even then, that's not really helping. The other day, I took 3 of them,
Me too.
and I still couldn't sleep. And I took them around 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Because your body becomes immune.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Develop a
But the thing is,
tolerance.
I just started taking them, and the only reason I'm taking them now is because my partner snores like a fucking bear. So
That's why you should have 2 different bedrooms.
And has he been tested for sleep apnea?
yeah, he's got.
He's got a CPAP?
I feel so weird because he has his mask, I have my mask.
Oh, that must be romantic.
I know exactly.
Waking up to the alien in the morning.
He'll go up to me,
Predators, that's
babe,
what that
good night,
reminds me
and we're like bumping our fucking masks together. But then, but if he doesn't have distilled water, because you have to use distilled water in a thing, you can't use regular water.
Right.
That last night he didn't have any. Oh, he was in the car. He didn't walk all the way. He didn't want to walk to the car. So I'm like, fucker. He goes, can you go get it? I'm like, nigga, it is like 3 o'clock in the morning. No, I'm not gonna go get it. So I had to hear him snoring. But I was so dead ass tired. I put my headphones. I went and bought some muffs. What are they called?
Earmuffs.
Earmuffs, but not like the ones when you go to the gun
Oh,
shoot.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I got
the
those
noise
big ass
reduction.
motherfuckers
Yeah.
and my mask. I crashed out probably like in 15 minutes because again I was dead ass
Put a
tired.
pillow over my head.
I can't. Sometimes
You snore?
like if this is the bed, I'm like all the end like this. I'm like, babe, just turn around to the other side and snore that way.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not trying to get off track, but a lot of the medications is aware, like you said, on your liver.
Yeah.
Because
And kidneys.
and kidneys. It's like we just have to be careful what we're taking. I mean, it's already bad enough that we have to take our HIV medication, but also if you're diabetic, you're taking 15 pills right there.
In fact, I take more pills for my well, not just pills, but medication overall for my diabetes than I do for anything else.
Metformin.
Yeah.
Metformin.
I take 1 pill for my blood pressure. I take 1 pill for my HIV. Everything else I take is, and I take a total of 8 pills, is for my diabetes.
Yeah, I have to take Flexitine, and that's for anxiety, and that's 3 little pills that I gotta take, and they're small, but I gotta take that plus a Bupropion, like I said earlier.
You had a question earlier. Do you remember it?
It has nothing to do with this.
But you know what? We're talking about all the pills that we're taking and stuff like that. But when I talk to people who have just been diagnosed and stuff, and I tell them not to lie to their doctors. And, I said, you're going to see the doctor in a few minutes. Tell them the truth. And if you think they don't know it, they know more than you think. That's not all. And so when they tell me, when they finally open up and say, well, there's, cocaine use and meth use and alcohol use, I'm not their mom, and I'm not going to tell them not to do that. Although, I ask them, have you ever considered seeing somebody for substance abuse? And they don't think it's abuse. They're only doing it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, I ask them, to consider, because again, I'm not their mom. I ask them to consider, can you live without doing it on Sunday? Can you consider having a, whoop up time on Saturday and leave Sunday alone? Just to give their bodies a break.
Like harm reduction.
Yeah, harm reduction, total harm reduction. That's, we were taught that a long time ago.
Minimizing, yeah.
And the other thing that I do talk to them about is they have to understand, and I don't know if people in the audience understand that. I'm sure they do, a lot of them, but maybe some don't. Everything is filtered through your liver and your kidneys. So when you go outside and you're going to work in your yard and you're spraying all that off on your body, that's filtered through your kidneys and liver. Okay, if you have a date on Saturday night and you want to look just luscious and smell luscious, all the spray cologne that you put on yourself, that's filtered through your kidneys and liver. Everything is filtered through your kidneys and liver. Add that to HIV meds, add all your other meds for your diabetes and stuff, And imagine what it is you're doing when you add the drugs and all the other stuff on top of it. Yes, Leo.
What if someone pees on you? Does that filter into your liver?
Probably so, yeah.
Absolutely.
It has,
Sure.
that has
Is
to.
pee good for you to drink? Do you,
Not to
know?
drink.
Actually, they say if you're actually out in the desert and you
Yeah.
have no water, to drink your urine to keep yourself hydrated.
But are you going to have urine in you while you're out in the desert?
Ain't good.
For how
You have a
long?
little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to be kind of hard.
Basically, what you're doing is you're recycling that hydration that you had in your system by
I
drinking.
mean,
your
none of
urine.
us are going to, because we'll fucking die in the first 30 minutes.
So,
You're like,
I'm just trying to give another perspective to HIV and aging, because aging, how you age is up to you. You decide how you're going to age.
Yes.
Again, I'm
Yeah.
telling you about my friend. He's 61 and looks freaking fabulous. Still a hottie McHot, single. But
wait,
You're not.
Carlos?
no.
Okay, let's.
So, no.
And I'm only 59. I know I look like I'm a hottie McCarty.
I meant the other friend, Jake.
Oh, okay.
And so living with HIV and aging has a lot to do with attitude. It has a lot to do with, and we could talk about it. We could do a whole hour on just attitudes. Thinking that everything's a bad thing. And I told you about him finding things to do. He goes. He has a spiritual place. He finds his outside. Working in the yard comforting for him. So aging can be a state of mind.
And I just want to jump in here and say
No,
that
go for
spirituality doesn't mean religion.
Right.
It means what fills your spirit,
Right.
what you connect to, what you feel is your higher power.
Your
and
happy
that could
place.
be anything. Yeah,
Yeah,
it could
your
be the
happy
clouds,
place.
it could be nature, it could
Water.
be the universe, it could be water, it could be the ocean, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be anything that's bigger than yourself.
Sometimes
really.
your kitchen is your
It's
spirituality.
actually it's what
Never mind.
I know Mark and I
it's
were
what
like
puts your
ourselves.
soul at peace.
Yes, exactly.
Like the kitchen.
right. Sure. Like your friend with the gardening and stuff.
So I just want to go back to medication. I'm also retired military, and I found out, and then I had 9 more years until retired. So so I had 2 lives. They never intermingled, but I was seen at the Bethesda Naval Hospital, which is, they changed the name to Walter Reed because they demolished the old Walter Reed, and then but anyway, I did quite a few drugs studies, and I know I've said to guys, okay, the interleukin, the IL-2. Are you familiar with that?
I remember that too.
It's a type of chemotherapy treatment, and they were testing it on individuals who are HIV positive. So it was injecting myself twice a day in the stomach and dealing with, oh my God, the side effects were just even worse than AZT. But it did some good, because at the end of it, of course back then I think CD4 count, they would call it T cells, but anyway, was over 1,000. It would maintain for a while.
Great.
So this
Yeah.
is during while you're still in the military or after?
Yes, no, still
Okay.
in.
So was this a military study or was it a civilian study?
Well, it was the HIV/AIDS clinic at that hospital. I think it's still under the Henry M. Jackson Foundation, and it's a military thing.
You were talking about telling your doctor the truth, and the reason they're asking you because they want to make sure you take your medicine. But if you're not taking your medicine, and you're still doing drugs, then they want you to take your medicine and at a later time. All right, if you're going to be doing this, if you're going to have your pipe or your crack or whatever, then do before.
Well, you need to know because of the interactions with
Right.
the medications and the street drugs, because they could be adversely affecting you. You're just basically doing this to yourself, running your own body down.
And they're not going to call the
and
cops on
affecting
you.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
Because it's all confidential.
Exactly. So if you tell your doctor that you're doing crack 3 times a day, he doesn't give a fuck. But he just wants to make sure your liver's okay, so
Right.
for you to live another day. and make sure you take your medication.
Yeah,
Something
be-
you touched on today, I'm sorry,
Oh,
just
okay.
real quick. Something that you touched on when you were talking about your meds and your bupropion and all that
Uh-huh.
is that, we see a lot of co-occurring disorders, with people with
I'm
HIV.
sorry, what type of disorders?
Co-occurring, which is
co-occurring. Okay, yeah.
So they
I don't
have
know what that is.
They
What is
have
that?
so you have a medical
happening at the same
condition, you have a substance use issue, and then you have mental health issues,
Oh, okay.
right? And they could all
have more
come.
than
I mean,
one
they could
going
all
on.
intertwine. Wherever the mental health issues come from, whether you were born with it or whether you developed it with trauma or whatever. However, it is there, and a lot of people still find that the stigma attached to saying something about your mental health is more. It just kind of outweighs the talking about it. It keeps you in the closet, so to speak, as far as wanting to share. Hey, I'm having this issue too.
Because a
in
lot of us,
addition to-
especially Mexicanos or Latinos, don't want to talk about it because
Right.
we don't want to be judged.
Right.
As
And
us,
that's same true also with the African American.
right,
Oh,
right.
absolutely. With all,
community as well.
I think it's everywhere, all the way across the board. Not everybody, will say, "Hey, I suffer from depression," or "I suffer from bipolar issues." It's not something that you go around saying unless you feel comfortable with it. Like I had to work through my own major depression issues. I was exacerbating them when I was in substance use, issues. I mean, in my substance use career. And then eventually when I came out of that and started getting sober and all that, my depression minimized greatly. But I had to accept that I had these things going on with me and I didn't know how to ask for help. Nobody ever told me, "Hey, Cindy, you need to go to," or "Sugar, you need to go to, to MHMR or Tropical Texas or whatever you go to."
Yeah.
Here in San Antonio, I was in the Rio Grande Valley. So, and then one day somebody said, "Hey, why don't you come and Mexico." And
Say
so
Mexico, I said in the hood.
in the hood, yeah. And one day somebody came and invited me to an AA meeting, and that kind of started the ball rolling. And that's where I want to, kind of bring this to a head is that, we need to share our stories. We need to invite people, not just in the clinics and in the places that we work at and the things that we do, but outside in the community as
I mean,
well.
it's good for mental, and that's how we
Yeah.
all started together.
Definitely.
We're all mental.
No, we started out because we all had some
Sure.
sort of issue. I mean,
We are mental.
we were positive. We were positive.
Yeah.
So from there, we became friends, and from there, we're here for each other.
Right.
If you're going through something, you lock the keys, whatever, with your car,
Battery's dead.
battery's dead,
Have a
three
flat on
times
the
in
side
2
of the highway.
days, or if he's going with something that he needs to talk, we're with us. So we're kind of like our own.
Support
Our own
system.
support system,
I
yeah.
mean, and that's what at the
Yeah.
end of the day,
That's
that's what we
very
are, a
important.
support system.
Yeah.
But that's for anybody too, and that's why we've given out our number
Right.
to the office for them to contact us, and
Right.
whoever's working that day,
Right.
we're here. But
Sure.
going back to the medication, we just have to make sure we take it because if we don't, we're not helping ourselves. But we're not even helping the people that we want to be with. I don't want to give my partner HIV.
Right.
And, some partners are like, "Oh, I don't care as long as I'm with you. I love you, blah, blah." No.
Is he taking PrEP? Or is he going to take PrEP? Your partner?
He was on PrEP.
Oh, he was.
But because he wasn't having sex for a while,
Me too. Yeah.
he decided to get himself off of it.
Well,
and it was because he didn't want to damage his liver. Because apparently PrEP does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I understand.
And
And also cancer again, PrEP can also damage your kidneys.
Right.
Well, to add, kind of to add to what Santiago said, about lying to your doctor, you mentioned tell them the truth and,
Right.
stuff like that. The other part of it is imagine going into your doctor's office and telling them, you know what, no, I don't do anything, blah, blah, blah. And so your doctor prescribes you a med and all of a sudden you're in the emergency room because it had some adverse effect on you, and now you're telling people that you don't even know because you're in the emergency room and you're saying, well, I did crack but then I took my HIV meds. Start with your doctor. That's your closest relationship.
Yeah.
Your doctor is your closest relationship. Tell him the truth. He'll understand.
You have to be your own advocate.
Yeah, be your own advocate. If you lie to them and tell them, the doctor's giving you, he's basing what he's giving you for your HIV on what you are telling him. And when you don't tell him the
Or
truth,
her.
or her, that's shameful, right?
Hello.
Dare I? Her.
My doctor is a
They, them.
But it's going to pop up in your blood work.
Exactly, and
Yeah,
they
So
see
you
it there.
can lie to him all you
Yeah.
want, but
They see it there.
But what does that do to the relationship with your doctor after
Yeah, and-
they have to find out later?
Yeah,
you know?
and that's sad.
Now they have to
you
keep
know,
questioning
and
you
that
why.
that just points out all kinds of flags that you are indeed a liar. And I wouldn't want my doctor to ever take that.
Well, it shows that either you're a liar or two, for some reason you don't trust your doctor,
yeah,
which that is the one person you should trust.
Right.
above all,
you're right. But some people don't want
Right.
want to go see the
They
doctor.
don't even, yeah.
They'll cancel the appointments, or they just don't feel comfortable being real with them, because sometimes as when we're young, our parents or whoever would tell us, butch it up, don't be such a fucking baby.
Man up, man up.
Exactly. man up.
Especially
So when
growing
you
up
go
in
to the
the
doctor,
area I grew up in.
yeah,
Very conservative redneck. It's you get knocked down,
Right?
suck it up, boy.
yeah. Like, don't go telling people your problem. People don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
No, there are people that actually do give
Or
a
keep
fuck.
it within the family. Keep it,
And especially if it doesn't help around your family, then you
Right.
find somebody
Yes.
else. Like, you come to us.
And that's exactly what's happened here is that, we've all come together and kind of created our own extended and blended families, and our support system because we need each other. We definitely need each other. And if you're out there and you need help, then you need to reach out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Whether it's to us
look,
or anybody else.
For
Talk to
example, we
somebody.
didn't need you. But you came in. No, she came in as a guest.
Who?
I did actually.
She came in as a guest.
They don't know who you're talking about.
Oh, Sugar.
Sugar.
Nobody wanted her, but she came in. Oh no, I'm kidding. We all love her.
you.
But she came
Yeah,
in
now.
as a guest I think you were a presenter or something that day.
Well-
and then you started coming back.
Yeah, how did you start with LPSA?
I started at the other church. Do you remember when you used to have those sober nights? Those movie nights and stuff like that
At
the
MCC?
previous church.
Yeah.
No, the little one over on Hildebrand, off of Hildebrand.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
yes.
And so Mark and Gilbert used to have these game nights, and they had bingos and stuff, and they had movie nights. Usually male queer stuff. But anyways, So and I came. and
So
we
what
saw
you're telling
that
us, we need more lesbian movies.
we need a variety of things. Yeah.
You need
Anyway,
to learn our experience.
that's how I started. That's how I got to know them. And then I left. I went back to the Valley because I lived here in San Antonio for a little bit. I was going to school. And then when I went back to the Valley and came back again, I looked them up. But now they were moving here. And so they didn't, excuse you, they didn't have any more events because they were moving. They were in transition to here. So to Woodlawn Point.
transition?
To Woodlawn Point.
okay, that's
And so once they restarted, then I started coming again to the bingos and the dinners and the things because I was, I'm really a loner, not by choice, but because, it just happens that way because, we were talking about the strong personalities that we have. And so, there was no time really to cultivate friendships because I was always working. I'm always working.
Yeah.
And so then this was like my home away from home, and these are my relationships. This is my friends and my family now. And as a queer femme, I'm not a male, but I'm still in the LGBTQ, IA plus family. And so I like that it was open to anybody and everybody embraced me. And I just I stayed where I felt welcome. And that's what, we do for
You
each
said
other.
that we're open to, and that's actually part of our mission statement is that
Yeah.
we are open to everybody.
Yes.
What is your identifier?
I'm a queer.
Okay.
I'm a queer stone femme.
Okay.
And what were you doing before Living Positive without us?
I had a live.
So they had movie nights and game nights
They
at
did.
the old church
Yes.
over on
They
Holland.
did. They had it open for anybody who wanted to come, who didn't have things to do, right, or didn't have a family and stuff. And the pastor was there a lot, and so were the chaplains that helped him out and stuff. I met a bunch of.
That was then.
That was anyway. So yeah, it was a really. It was nice. It was affirming. It was supportive. It was entertaining. It was everything that I needed as a one person in San Antonio. A lone wolf, if you will, or lone coyote.
Sometimes if you only reach that one person,
Yes.
that's all. That's your whole goal.
Right,
You don't.
yeah. Yeah.
Success isn't measured. I don't think success is measured in numbers.
Right.
You know, I think
Absolutely.
it's measured in that one person. You know, that comes and says, you did everything I needed.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I'm
Absolutely.
sorry. They know what brought me here. He brought me here. We met at the Candlelight
Okay.
on St. Mary's. It was a
Oh yeah. Is that still
Like
open?
American
Yes.
Veterans for Equal Rights.
Okay.
It was a
Avier.
AVER. And we just started talking, and you know, and we clicked, and he invited me, and
Good.
since December of 19.
Yeah, I mean, he shared his story and everything, and then that's why I invited him over here.
Yeah.
But I mean, and the reason I'm here is because of Mark, because I met Mark at one of Leo's events
Copa.
at Copa, a little company that Leo used to work for. We don't name it, but you know, so he was the
Facilitator.
facilitator.
Felicitator.
Yes.
So I mean, that's how it's
that
like,
right?
and he used to save me seats. It was like, and we used to shit
And
I mean,
save
not shit,
tacos.
talk,
Yeah, save tacos,
and bullshit, have
I guess
tacos.
nobody else ate because he was saving him.
Because it was for the clients, not for the staff.
I didn't want any. I
Then
never,
why you
took
bitching?
your because probably no other clients got any.
But no, believe it or not, he was not the person who took
No,
away
it
all
was
the
Ruben,
tacos.
No.
and it was
Ruben
Angel.
would take it, yeah.
Yeah.
Angel.
an angel.
Yeah, Angel would just show for. But if that made him just to go there and listen to us, that
That was a good thing.
that was a good thing. It's not like he went there, got a taco, and fucking left. He was there, put in his 2 cents, and
Fall
then
asleep.
fall asleep.
but that was his.
But
Yeah.
but again, it's a
And
change
that's the
reaction.
same thing as what we do here with on the meeting nights. You know, there's a meal, there's fellowship, there's support, you know, and stuff where you
Fellatio.
feel comfortable. Well, that comes later, but hopefully, not for me. But I'm saying, you know, whatever. I'm just saying that you find that with the LPSA.
Yes.
You know, with the organization, with the. I'm sorry, I'm having
okay,
a
it's
brain
old
fart.
age.
It's
That's
me.
all right.
It is. It's me getting older.
57, right?
Yeah, almost 58. And no, it's with all the different occasions and the stuff that we do. You know, all of the different get-togethers and things. You
I
know.
mean, the way I found out about it was through Jeremy, another guy that used to work there. That's how I met Leo,
Don't you
and that's how I met.
That's how I met him.
You
At
dated
Copa.
Yeah.
He dated
Oh.
Jeremy.
Oh, okay.
Jeremy introduced me.
And what's the name of the guy he's dating now?
You guys are terrible.
Oh shit! Stop! Oh my god!
Time.
So
Too late.
I was looking for a group, and not really looking, but it was in my head. It's like I sure would like to meet other people
Yes.
who are dealing with the same issue.
And
And
I dated. Yes,
I say things happen for a reason.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Not you then.
I was meant to meet you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was meant
Oh,
to meet you.
absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
And that's what that Avier was. It was supposed to be a social group with another social group that we didn't like,
Yeah.
and that's how we connected. But going back to the other Jeremy
Yeah. let's bring that
brought
back
me
up.
to be like, go check it out, and that's how I met you. And you, and then I met him because he was sitting next to me, and then he would save me a seat every time I come in, and we chill, have tacos, like 5-6 tacos or whatever, because some of those were the best tacos. And then you went to another place.
I hated that in cheese and garlic miso. I always hated that.
Me too.
Yeah, it should have been just plain carne
Yeah.
asada, no cheese. But then later
Avocado. I
on,
like avocado on my carne asada tacos.
but later on, the professor came in, and that's how we met her.
That's
So it was like, let's take him in. I mean, he looks all lonely.
that's Jace.
And actually, when I came to this group, I had just lost my son. He had died
Right.
from cancer. And truthfully, this was the first group that I'd ever been involved with, period, since I'd been diagnosed. And this, truthfully, has been the best thing to happen in my life. It brought mental stability to me at the time because I was very distraught over my son. And it brought more mental stability because I was starting to understand what was going on with me in terms of the HIV.
Right.
And I was aging, and it helped me understand what was going on with some of my body and some of the things going on with me.
You know, you were there, and then Wayne also, but I also knew Wayne through another, through Ryan White, Planning Council. That's how I met him, and then he started coming here too and helping out. So we all met, and we all became a family. And there's still other people that are not here right now because either they fucking fell asleep, partied too much last night. But, you know, we all know each other, and we all help each other.
Right.
Or we find people to help them if we can't help them.
We use our resources.
Right. We use our resources.
Yes, I was going to say that. You know, everybody that's here brings a certain, talent or skill.
Je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. Je ne sais quoi to the organization, and it's not really a coincidence, but a divine appointment, in my opinion. You know,
And
that
that's
we were all brought
spirituality.
together. That's
That
it.
is spirituality.
That's
And
right.
I do have one final question for the group before we close.
No, I never thought that I was going to get this old ever.
No.
But I'm glad that I did.
I did.
That wasn't the question. What is one thing growing up that you dreaded happening to you as a sign of aging? Like for me, waking up in the middle of the night to go pee. Once that started happening to me, I'm like, oh great, I'm getting old.
Really?
Yeah.
That could be diabetes.
Yeah.
He's 30.
No, it's because I drink
He's a
water
baby.
like right before I go to bed.
You, Jace?
Do you know, I don't think I ever dreaded getting old because, and the simple reason is, men in my family died very young. I actually looked forward to getting old.
To die?
No, because it meant
you did a milestone.
it meant that I'd conquered something in my family
Yes.
that other men in my family hadn't conquered.
Yes.
And you
And
did.
that was age.
And you did.
And I am actually right now the second oldest living member in my father's line in my family.
All right. Yes. Amen.
So
amen.
wait, okay. So do you think because you were taking medication to help you live longer, that forced you to focus? Because do you think if you were not HIV positive,
You probably would have died.
No, actually no.
I didn't see that.
Oh,
But if that's what he's thinking, no, I
like that you
honestly,
finished your
honestly
sentence.
think because I was a very strong, healthy person when I contracted HIV. I don't think my diabetes would be as bad now because the HIV has progressed the HIV, the diabetes.
Diabetes. Uh-huh.
So I think I would be a very strong, healthy person. And that's because I didn't indulge in a lot of things that the men in my family do, like smoke, drink, things like that.
I recently cut my hair, and because I
Good
was
story,
letting
Sylvia.
no,
What's it?
I was letting my hair grow because in my family, the women usually all cut their hair, but I'm so traditional that I wanted that long hair. I wanted to grow older and have that trenza, the braid, and be an old lady, and step into, my age and my life, in each stage of it and just live it fully.
With the Mexican blonde hair?
But I did, yeah. Well, shut up. Anyways, my point is that I wouldn't have ever embraced the skin that I'm in, the age that I'm at, the season in my life, fully, if I had not gotten sober. If I had not gotten help for my depression and just kind of cut out all the bad things in my life, but they were necessary for me to overcome the things that I was going through. And then when I was done and ready to get help, then I was, and now, like I said, I look forward to every birthday because, I love it. I do.
And you look beautiful for your age.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. I love you so much. 956 represent. Anyway, and
So what about you, Santiago?
I've always wanted gray hair.
and you have
And I love it. I love it.
I love that. Have
That's
the
good.
sides.
That's
It's
good.
really gray.
It's very
and the
distinguished
black.
looking.
I mean, the top does have a little salt and pepper every once in a while, but
It looks good though.
It does.
thank you.
look
And then I
good.
got my little streak right here. That
A little
love.
skunk streak.
Look, just because yours is down there, your little white hair.
Check. No, I don't have any white hair still.
Oh, you shave it?
No.
I do.
You don't shave?
No.
Oh my God! It's like all bush. It's like a little.
Okay.
No, it's not that bush.
This is 2MI.
TMI.
TMI.
Stop trying to picture how her bush looks.
Picture.
But
Stupid.
I mean, it's not like, it doesn't look like the plants outside or nothing. It's roll.
It's not like a bougainvillea or nothing. Calm down her body.
but
She straightens it and combs it.
Yeah.
It's a little
there's
braids
nothing.
and shit.
I think my only fear
I embrace the
was
thing.
dying alone.
Yeah.
Dying alone and not having kids.
That's the fear that I have now that I'm old, is dying alone.
I'm okay
Right.
dying alone.
You'll never
No, I don't want my body sitting around for 2 or 3 days. I really don't.
That's not necessary anymore.
I have a
because
nosy
we
neighbor
are
that
here.
will find me if I die.
That's what
Yeah.
the phone tree is for.
He'll look through my
With the
window
phone
and see
tree.
me on the bed dead.
Phone
So
call if you're dead.
No, but people are supposed to call you and check on you every day.
And that
Which
is one
we
thing about being
really
part of the
haven't
trip.
done that in a
We
while.
haven't. We
Well,
have-
that
we
is part of
also
this
had a
trip.
lot of
I know if somebody doesn't hear from me within a day or 2, they're going to be knocking on my door.
Right.
yeah, my nosy neighbor will look through my window and see me dead. And
Yeah.
Ooh, I like those pants. I don't
John,
wear these shorts anymore.
I don't think of myself as old. I'll be 57. I don't think of myself as old.
yeah, actually, none of you guys really look.
You know,
Old.
I don't dress my age.
Right.
I shop at Old Navy. You know, I
You shop at Old Navy?
Old Navy.
I love Old Navy.
Is that like a
Old Navy.
connection to your former military?
No, I- you know,
because it's a
Old
play
Navy.
on words.
A lot of
Get
my
it?
Navy, old
Get
Navy.
it?
God, it's really funny.
so
I didn't mean it in a bad
no.
way. It was just funny.
I still, well, after 20-some years of being in a routine, it's
Yes.
still there.
Yes.
I love being outside. I love doing yard work. I love planting. I love.
So you're still very active.
I try to be.
And now,
but,
and you believe that goes back to your military
I think
training
so.
and service?
But I do have a bad back, which degeneration of the spine,
Sure.
and it does hurt.
But you know what
But
your
I just
limits
go
are.
on.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
complain. I never say, "Oh my God," so,
Yeah.
you know.
But
I
you
don't-
also know to take care of yourself and be
Yeah.
careful when you do things so that you don't exacerbate
Exactly,
your
and,
condition.
and I have a husband who's
Yeah.
7 years younger than I am.
Mm-hmm.
He's Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
He's the love of my life.
Go ahead, honey. Mine too. 7 years younger.
Daddy.
I love Latinos.
What about Sylvia?
You be both, baby.
Was there something that you were dreading to happen to your body that would signify that you're getting old?
Other than your gray bush.
Oh my God!
I'm not sure.
Do we have to go there again?
I think the only thing that's fearful for me, and it's no, I want to get old. Like a lot of my friends, they who didn't make it that far, a lot. I wanted to get old. I kind of want to hang around and be that crotchety old lady that makes people
Yes.
miserable.
Yes.
But I know I'm just
Right here
doing it.
with
I'm
your
doing it on
sister.
purpose
Okay. Uh-huh.
because I can.
I'm
You
gonna
know
be
that
like
type
you
thing,
from the
and then
shoebox reading cards.
I'll go home and laugh about it, knowing damn well I could do it my damn self, but I made them do it for me. You know, that kind. I want to have that kind of fun.
Well, now we know, so we won't do anything for you.
But I think the only thing that I fear at this point is my father died of a degenerative disease. And he would complain about his muscles aching all the time. And he'd say, you know, rub my legs, they hurt. And so, of course, I'm fearful of that disease happening to me. So when I am feeling a certain type of way, you know, physically, I think, oh my God, that's my dad's disease coming to get me. My father ended up, not by my choice or my sister's choice, but simply by my mother's choice. I think we did way too many things to him to sustain his life, and that I would not have done. And so my father lived longer than he should have because of machines. He was well aware in his head what was going on, but he couldn't function below the neck. And so when he went from my legs hurt to all this, I get fearful when my legs hurt. And I try to remember, well, I fell on that knee, or, you know. So that's the only thing that scares me about getting older, is that I don't mind getting older as long as I can make hell for everybody. But I don't want to get old. I don't want to get old like that, you know. Otherwise, I want to stay around as long as I can, advocate as long as I can. I think that some part of me says, you know, I'm tired. Let's hand it over to the young kids. I don't want to advocate anymore. I don't care anymore. I'm just tired of caring. But there's that part of me that's probably never going to stop, you know. And so I look forward to the challenges of later, you know. I really do.
And Mark?
I look forward to getting old. Always have. There's nothing. What's the question?
When you were younger, was there something that would happen to your body that you didn't want to happen?
No.
That would show that you're getting old, like your knees or your back.
That's just part of life, right?
It's part of life. I always saw it that way. It's part of life. My grandmother always said, if a bone doesn't hurt when you get older, it means you're not living. So,
I like
Shit,
that.
I'm living
That's
then.
true.
You
Okay.
weren't, one, you weren't living, and you're not living.
Yeah, my mother will be 81 next month, and she still travels the world by herself.
Good for her.
And she'll be here tomorrow.
That's what I want.
Yeah, we're excited to see her on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So that is it for this
One more
podcast.
thing, real quick.
That is it for this
Because
podcast.
today is HIV Long-Term Survivor Awareness Day. Talking about HIV
And
and
long-term.
aging.
Wasn't HIV Survivor Day Tuesday? That's why we
No.
talked about it.
The entire week has been Long-Term Survivor Week. Today is actually Long-Term Survivor Day.
Cool. Thank you for that information.
You didn't want me to say it. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you guys.
Bye, everyone.
We
Please
will
reach
see
out.
you next week.
Don't forget about our Living Positive.
Fundraiser.
Facebook Live.
Facebook Live, and don't forget about our
Cash App.
Cash App.
Cash App.
Yes,
Please
for those-
donate.
Donate money.
For those of you in Saudi Arabia, you can watch us on Facebook Live. Just friend request us. We love you.